That's so good because a lot of people would take, oh, you're quiet, that means you're mad.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
That's not true. So that helps me do away for the negative vibration.
Right.
Being moody.
Let's also talk about like what self-care isn't as well, because I feel like because there's also this huge wave of like self-care is routine, meditation, doing a lot of yoga. But you know what? I think it's so cool like that doesn't apply. Like for me, that also like some of that doesn't apply to me. Like
it's not like what works for me may not work for you.
It's not a one size fits all.
I agree to that.
Which I think, I think a lot of people, because I mean, we see on Instagram, oh, go do yoga, oh, write in a journal, or, things like that, or walk in nature. But what happens if that's not self-care, for you? So let's talk a little bit about like, how you like to, express your self-care. Like, what do you like to do for yourself?
I am a fan of quiet time.
Okay.
Right. So when I feel super stressed about something or I feel worried about something, I don't know, sometimes I feel like people who doesn't probably understand me would think that you're just being there because you're just being quiet, because you just want to dwell on that negative vibration. But for me, no, I don't really think about like what caused me this emotion, what made me sad. No, it's just me thinking about other things. And I just really wanted to be quiet, and because I'm drained, so I'm trying to regenerate myself. Is that a right word?
That's so good because a lot of people would take, oh, you're quiet, that means you're mad.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
That's
like
not true.
With my partner before, like whenever like we would kind of get into an argument or get into a spat, like I remove myself from the situation and I go somewhere quiet and where I can just be with myself to cool off and just kind of like relax my mind. And I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, you're quiet, you're mad.
No, I think it's because they also related to like the emotions of how the hormones of female are working, you know? And then we call it like topak. You have topak again because you're not tantrums.
So what does that mean? Just so for our audience. Tantrums.
Yeah,
so basically like letting loose.
You're just having tantrums, so that's why you're just being quiet there because you just don't want to talk.
What's another way that you like to how you self-care for yourself?
Self-care for me is when we were in Century Tuna Superbots, right? That's when I really started to be super active, right?
Okay.
And then I've researched about like where is a proper place for me to be able to do yoga, and we had a lot of trainings. We did have a lot of yoga classes. So and then I met my boyfriend now, and he's into yoga. It's really, I'm really happy that he is.
That's good.
So whenever, let's say he noticed that I feel stressed, and what are you doing today to help yourself? Like, do you even do yoga? So it reminds me that I have to do, even if it's just like a 15-minute yoga. It does help because, I would normally have tantrums when I don't get enough sleep.
Oh.
Okay, so not tantrums like, but just lash out. But it's totally different like mood when I don't get enough sleep. So I notice as an alternative, if you are busy and you can't really get that sleep, I do that yoga like 15 minutes and focus on your breathing, and it really helps. It's like power nap afterwards.
Right.
So that helps me do away for the negative vibration.
Right.
Being moody, and it helps me go back to a happy me.
Right. It slows everything down. And actually it gives you, when you slow things down, it actually gives you perspective. You know what I mean? Like when I'm scuba diving, like for me, the reason why, like when I go scuba diving, it's maybe because I'm not like in a lower mood and I have to like go to scuba diving to kind of like raise my energy a little bit. But when I'm there, because things are slower, I get to put things in perspective. I get to be like, okay, am I overreacting to the situation? I can calm down a little bit. I can just like, regather my thoughts.
Right.
And I think that's also like why I think you find so much therapy and self-care in yoga, is because you get to slow down. You get to allow yourself to just kind of be. And not so much do.
Right.
And especially with like little energy, like what you mentioned, you can just be in that state.
Yeah, and I also believe that like everything has its own frequency, right? And it's you've heard this, like you vibrate higher, right? And these activities really help you have that higher vibration,
right? And you know what? I think a lot of people kind of misconstrue self-care as being, oh, you have to be like ecstatic. I find self-care actually reaching peace, you know, because I feel like being extremely happy or extremely angry, those are like super duper extremes, but like I think people in general just need to find that peace first, and then because from there, like that's where you are, that's where you're neutral, and then from there you kind of like sway from right to left, from being extremely happy to like maybe extremely moody,
Right.
you know what I mean? So I feel that's what self-care does for me. It brings me to that neutral state.
Correct.
You know, I think it's so important that people kind of need to find that thing or those things that kind of like help bring them back.
Right.
To
I like what you
that
said.
state, you know?
I like it.
Another way of self-care for me is actually doing things. This is weird. I mean, it may sound weird. Is doing things in advance, like doing like something my future me will thank my past me for. Like, for example, doing the dishes ahead of time. And then you know what? Then the Carmela from the future is like, damn, Carmela from the past, like
Good thing that you did this.
Yeah, you saved my ass, you know? So I do find like doing chores or doing errands ahead of time does provide that self-care because you don't stress about it later on. So I do find a lot of therapy when the future me is kind of like looks back and is like, wow, I can't believe we did that.
Like some of us would really